So today we're going to be breaking down the Shamrock. This is one of my personal favorite steps. I feel like I say that every time I do one of these videos, but this one truly is a classic. So hoping that we can just break it down today in a way that's super easy to understand. And if you've never heard of it before, then hopefully you can add it to your toolkit and have some fun with it. Let's go ahead and get into it. So I don't have too much when it comes to the history of this step. I'm sure that there's some story out there about why it is named what it is. Some of you may know a shamrock is the lucky four-leaf clover plant, synonymous with leprechauns. And I don't know what that has to do with this step, but either way, we're going to break it down. So the actual motion and execution of this step on the surface is fairly easy, but I'm hoping to give some tips today to help you guys execute it in a super authentic way, and I'll also try to throw in some variations that you all can play around with. So the main two things that I'm thinking about when I do this step are the direction that my upper body is facing when I do the step, and also how I'm utilizing my knees. And I'll show you what I mean by that. So to start off a shamrock, you're gonna step out to the side on count 1. You're gonna step to the ball of your foot, and you're gonna do a slight rotation to face the opposite direction. From here, you're gonna step together on count 2, and you're gonna do a little raise with your heels. 2. Let's try that again. 5, 6, 7, 8. We go 1, turn, 2, down. That's the first half. And then you just repeat the same pattern with your other foot. It's very dark and cloudy and it's raining and it's so beautiful outside. I wish y'all could see this right now. To do the other side, we're going to step with y'all's left foot. We're going to step out onto the ball of our foot, do a rotation. We're going to step together and do a little raise with our heels. That's the basic motion of the step. Turn and up. Turn and up. Now there's a couple key technical components here that we can add to make it look even more authentic. One of them being a point that I was talking about earlier, which is the circle of the knee. So as we step to the side and rotate to face the opposite direction, instead of just finding this slow, monotonous turn into our raise, we can find a little bit more flavor by using our knee to draw a circle to bring our foot in. So instead of just stepping here and doing a rotation, we want to think rotate, drawing a circle with our knee. Same thing on this side. Rotate, 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 rotate. That's one component. I want to make sure my camera's not getting rained on. It's really coming down, y'all. It's beautiful. God is so good. So we have this circle of the knee that's happening as we're doing our rotation. Another thing that you can think about when you're doing this step is keeping your foot that's doing the rotation facing the same direction as your upper body. Now, I say that because sometimes when I see people doing this step, they'll make the mistake of rotating the foot before we even step and just stepping together. I think it happens because they don't think they have enough time to do the full rotation, so they just rotate as they step. But we want to try to prevent that. If we don't have this change of direction in the foot, it's gonna look less and less like a real shamrock. So as we step, we wanna keep our toes and our upper body facing the same direction. And that's pretty much it for the lower body. There's a couple different things that we can think about here. And there's probably a lot of things that I'm not covering, but these are just the things that really help me with this step. One thing that I do that I think really helps with the illusion of this step is to add in a little shoulder, or to utilize my shoulders as I'm doing this step. But let me show you what I mean. When I take this rotation, as opposed to just keeping my shoulders flat and stagnant, I use my shoulder to sort of emphasize the movement as I'm doing it. You can see I almost do like a little shoulder check thing here, right? You can add your own flavor and style to this step, and personally, I just really like the way that this looks, and it helps me feel like I'm doing the step with my whole body as opposed to just my feet, if that makes sense. And I'll play around with different positioning of my arms as well. Storm blew the door open. Let's put that there. We're gonna have to wrap this up soon, guys. Another reason that I incorporate my shoulders like this is because it helps me to do the next thing that I want to talk about that can, I think, really make your shamrock look super dope. And that's this head isolation concept. So we talked about keeping our feet and our upper body facing the same direction when we do the step. To add another layer to this step, what we can do is try to isolate our head so that it doesn't match what our chest and our feet are doing. So let me show you what I mean. When I do this step, I start with my head facing roughly the direction I'm about to step, or even facing the front. Something that you can think about to kind of give this step a little bit more of an illusion is to fix point your head as you're doing the step. So as I step, I make the circle with my leg. My head is facing this direction. I take the rotation. My upper body faces this direction, but I keep my head looking that way. And then I raise my feet. Same thing here. Usually if I'm gonna change where my head is looking, I'll probably change it as I do the raise so that then I can step and do it on the other side. So part of the reason why I utilize this shoulder is it sort of helps to add to that head illusion that I'm incorporating into the step. Kind of hard to do with the phone in my hand. So those are just some things that you can think about that I think really help to make the Shamrock look like it's supposed to look, or that give it just like a really authentic flavor, which you guys know I'm all about that. Just simple ideas that you can play around with, and hopefully will inspire you to do this step in your own way. Let's go ahead and try this nice and slow. I'll try to add some counts in so that we can keep a rhythm. So 5, 6, 7, 8, we step 1 and 2, 3 and 4, 5 and 6, 7 and 8. Thinking about the circle of the knee, thinking about the incorporation of both the shoulder and the head, using the head as a fixed point to add to the illusion of the step. Now there's obviously different ways that you can do this step. One variation that I've seen is to take it once up, and then as we step together, take it down, take it, stand it back up. Circle, down, circle, up. New microphone coming soon. Another variation that you can do is to reverse the Shamrock. So instead of stepping forward with our toe, we take the opposite approach and we step back to do a rotation this way, step together. Rotate, up, rotate, up, rotate, up. To me, it helps to think about completely reversing this motion. I don't know that you'll perfectly reverse it, but it helps me conceptually as I'm doing it. You can also add multiple rotations and take out the raise in the center. But a classic Shamrock to me really just looks like utilizing your knee and incorporating your upper body to add to the illusion of the step. So let's go ahead and try this step with some music. I'll just throw something on, try it for y'all, and then we'll call it a day. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.
Yeah, James.